Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about the book Eldest by Christopher Paolini. I'm only doing the first chapter, but I'm pretty much going to be talking about what you should not do when you're writing a book. So let's keep that in mind. First off, we have the first chapter, A Twin Disaster. And the first line just gets me every time. The songs of the dead are the lamentations of the living. I don't know what that means. I don't really care about that. But as you're reading, you get to a paragraph where it says, since waking to find his wound healed by Angela, Aragona tried 3 times to assist in the recovery effort. And on goes that paragraph. Now, I feel like this paragraph does not belong here. Like, I don't care about this paragraph. Why? Because his wound does not matter right now. Before we were talking about how the Urgos were being burned. And then we have this chapter, or this paragraph right here, where it says his wound is being healed and how he's trying to help. And then we go back to him talking about the second paragraph and third paragraph. Like, why add that right there? And then I do hate this one name, the cripple who is whole. Okay, we don't need names like that. If you're gonna make, like, personally, I don't like that. That's just my thing. If you're gonna make a name like that, it should be a name that's can mean that, but is in a different language, like some kind of conlag or something, or just take it off altogether. But most of this book is just filler. Like, if you look on Goodreads, it was rated one of the worst books of the year. No, it wasn't Goodreads, it was something else. I'm gonna have to do my research on that. But it was rated one of the worst books of the year, and someone said it was 700 pages of just filler. And I agree, because I was highlighting in yellow all fillers, and there is so much filler in this book. There's so much filler in this book. And for what? Like, I understand this book is supposed to be long, but I guarantee you it would have cut off about 200 pages if it didn't have all this filler. Like, we have him talking about the cripple who was whole and then fighting Durza, and then he says he felt fragile, as if a sudden shock would shatter his reconstructed body and consciousness. I mean, I understand that the dark spirits that controlled him had transformed Aragon. In what way? I don't know. Hopefully in the story they expound on that. But just adding he felt fragile as if a sudden shock would shatter his reconstructed body and consciousness. I'm just gonna put it out there, this book sounds like AI. Now, I guarantee you it was not written by AI because this was made in 2005. I don't know when AI came out, but I guarantee you it was not this good back then. So I'm gonna do my research on that too. But I highly doubt this was written by AI. It's just what it sounds like to me. Now, there's another section on this exact same page where it says, he had realized, with Saphira's help, that the only way to stay rational amidst such pain was to do things. What things? Do what? Like eating? Fighting? What? Like, and then it says, beyond that, he no longer believed that life possessed inherent meaning. Nihilism? Is this what is this book about? There's so many different plots, I'm very confused. And then it says, if any honor existed in war, he concluded, it was in fighting to protect others from harm. Now, that really isn't a big kind of filler thing, but it says he concluded, which I really don't mind that, but hopefully it's not used more in the book. That's why I highlighted it. If it's used more in the book, I'm definitely hating on it. Now, it says, after that, he bent and plucked up a tooth, a molar, from the dirt. I mean, come on, you could have just said he bent and plucked a molar from the dirt. Why are we saying a tooth? And why does it matter? Wait, why are we picking up teeth from the ground and bouncing it on our palms? Okay, why are we adding that? That whole scene, why are we adding that in the book? That the character is picking up a tooth and bouncing it in their palm. What? Do we know what could be on this tooth? It's literally coming from a creature that kills other people. What if they eat humans? I've never read the first book, but based on this, I'm not liking it. I don't want to read the first book, but I most certainly am. But I'm ranting about this one first, and then if I read my first book and I see, or if I read the first book and I see that it has, that a tooth has a reason to be there, then yeah, I'll pretend like I never said this. But as I'm seeing, this tooth is not meant to matter, and it's just disgusting. Like picking up a tooth and bouncing it in your hand. Come on, like, come on. And then Tormunder, the name Tormunder, I don't even know how to say it. That's why I don't like it. Like, it's like a little O with dots, and then it looks weird. It looks like it's hard to say. Like when I try to say it, it just, okay. And I'm gonna have other books that I'm gonna hate on as well. And the reason why I like hating on books is so that you can avoid doing this horrible stuff in books. And I'm not saying this book is horrible. I'm not saying that the writer of this book is horrible. I think this book is amazing. The plot is amazing. All of this, the ideas and everything are amazing, but it's the filler and stuff that sounds like AI that ruins the book. And then the hard names to pronounce and just the main idea of just killing. It's just, everyone must die in this book. No one can survive. No one can live. Everyone dies. Everyone that's important, everyone that is close to Aragon dies. I guarantee you. In the third or fourth book, what are they called? Burgunder, or like, how do you even say that? Or Inheritance, Saphir for sure is gonna die. If she doesn't, I don't know. And I'm not even gonna be shocked if she does. And let's just move on. So, we have right here, on the next page, that it says, even though Murtagh despised his father and was loyal to Aragon, the Varden had not trusted him. We know that Murtagh is hated. We learned about it in the first book. And I'm going to say right here, there's nothing wrong with recapping things, but why so often and so detailed? Like, literally, it just... I think it actually is not too bad, but if it continues to pop up throughout the stories, I'm done with this series. And then we have the great star sapphire that was 60 feet across and carved in the shape of a rose that Araya allowed Aragon that was broken. So Aragon broke it. And yet it says Aragon had walked through the splintered wreckage and shared the dwarf's sorrow for all the lost beauty. So I'm guessing Aragon destroyed it? So he destroys it. And then... what? And also, I had nothing for the synopsis, but it says in the synopsis that Aragon killed that one dude by pure luck. So, like, it was just a quick move and he killed him. And now people are calling him, what, Shade Slayer? Yeah, Shade Slayer. Like, first of all, he didn't, like, he literally was going to die if he hadn't gotten that help from Arya. Okay. And I'm just gonna move on. Next we have, ooh, this one's like really long, but first I'm just gonna go by for the name Zarok. Why does this sword have a name? Now, if you've never watched walkthrough, I feel bad for you, but Percival's sword has a name, and I can't remember it because I haven't watched it in like 5 years. Which, that's reasonable. But wasn't Zarok some evil guy? And you're naming the sword after an evil guy? I can't remember. But all I know, like, unless the sword is alive, and it says, my name is Zarok, then why are you naming your sword? I don't know. But then again, I really can't say anything, because sometimes I name things like my stuffed animals, but... yeah, I'm like almost 15 and I still have stuffed animals. Why does it matter to you? Anyway, here's where everything messes up. Here's where everything just goes down here for this story. It's literally only page 4. And Urgles just pop up. And I have so many questions. Like, this is just filler. This is all just filler. And I wrote like so much around the pages. Like, I was so mad. Like, look at that. There's no... This all happened way too fast. Where did the Urgles come from? Why weren't the warriors paying attention? Was no one scouting the area before entering Jotunheim? We're only on page 4. Like, what's happening? I have so many questions because suddenly these creatures pop up, right? It's like before they entered Jotunheim, they never like looked through the hole. They never looked. And I don't know much about Urgles, but don't they live underground? Don't they live in a maze? So why would you jump through a hole knowing that Urgles like to be in holes? Like, unless I'm wrong, please correct me, but that just doesn't make any sense. Like, and I really thought this book was going to be good, but and here's what I wrote on my sticky note. All of this is filler facts. Like, you could have like added it way later into the story. Like, even if it was on page 10, I would have been more accepting of it. But all of a sudden these creatures just plop in, and I mean, I swear Pelini like just wrote it just because he didn't even know what else to add after that. Like, literally, we're still walking through dead bodies. And yet, more dead bodies are about to fall. And it's only been 3 days. It's only been 3 days. And yet, there's a whole nother army already coming. And it's like, okay, we need a break. We need to pause. Like, we need to give the character more time to breathe. Because if they know, like, if one of the greatest villains to ever exist, and scariest villains to ever exist, just died 3 days ago, then why would evil characters immediately think in their heads, you know what, yeah, let's go kill these people, after literally the strongest, most dangerous character was just killed? They would be thinking in their heads, if they have any brains at least, that they are not just going to go into this place where the Shade Slayer is and think that they're going to win. Like, they need to rationalize it and be like, you know what, I don't think this is safe. Let's wait it out. Let's wait until this character leaves the city, and then we can raid the city or place or whatever you call it. I don't know, mountain, I think. I mean, come on. And I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know how to say this, but it's called An Army of Frogs. I'm sorry if I say this wrong, but Kulipari? You know the book is Army of Frogs. It's by Trevor Price. Give me 1 second, because I gotta find it. Okay, this is a Kulipari novel by Trevor Price with Joe Naftali and illustrated by Stanford Green. Look at this amazing book. This is literally my favorite book. But this book right here is only like 1/3 the size of this overfillered book, or overfilled with filler book. And yet this is so much better. Like, the pacing is perfect. Like, when you read the pacing, it's like you don't just go straight into army mode. Like, you see what the army is planning. You see what they're doing. They don't just pop up, you know? You see like scenes of them there, and they're walking to, I forgot what their land is called. I'm gonna have to write it all down. But they're walking to the place where the frogs live. Like, the Scorpion Army has ideas, and then they team up with the Spider Queen. And then we have Daryl, and you know, he doesn't just immediately just start off as a great frog who's fighting. He's been fighting since he was little, I would assume, because you know, you see him fighting with his friends. So like, when you think about this book, this character is just now completely overpowered. Well, actually, I'm thinking about Light Lark. And I haven't even read that book. I've seen reviews of it, and people hate the crap out of it. I'm gonna read it someday, but all I know is the first line starts with, Light Lark was a shining, cliffy thing. But we'll get to that another time. Now, I love An Army of Frogs. Like, everything is just perfect. Like, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then when the actual army thing happens, like, it ends pretty quickly, but it ends for a reason. Like, it doesn't just end because 5 of them were killed by Ajihad, I think his name is. And it's just, the pacing is better. Like, you see, but the one thing I didn't like about the Kulipari novels was how the frogs didn't even take the time to cover up their tracks, and then they fell asleep. Now, thankfully, they had gone a different way to get back because they knew that they were going to be followed if they took the wrong route. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, maybe in future books they find like other tracks and they find a way to get across. I haven't read the other books. I will say more if I have, but this is a 10 out of 10 book. I would buy it. Like, I would burn this book right here rather than, or I would burn that book You know what, you can stay down there. I would rather burn that book and read this, okay? That took me way too long to say. Because I was going to say it a different way, but how was I going to say it? I would rather... I would burn that book to read this book. Yeah. If someone said which book would, like, if whichever book you choose is the book that you burn, I'm choosing Eldest, I'm burning it, and I'm getting this book right here. Always. Oh my gosh, it's such a good book. Like, I don't care how short it is. You know, my book is like 2/3 the size of it. Like, no, I'm sorry. So this book is only 1/3 the size of my book. Sorry, guys. But anyway, back to what I was saying. What page am I on now? Right. And then all of a sudden, Ajahad dies. And like I said, any character that's close to Aragon dies every time. I'm not even going to be shocked if Saphira dies by the end of the book. Why? Because Garrow is dead. Let me... I have to figure this out. Like, who? Garrow is dead. I think Brahm is dead too. Or was it Durza? I think it was Brahm. I think Durza is still alive. Oh man, I have so much left to talk about. But anyway, we say right here on page 5, where we see Ajahad say, Aragon, the name slipped from Ajahad's lips no more than a whisper. That sounds like AI. That sounds like AI. And he could have made it sound more normal. I don't know if AI was a thing back then. I will straight up tell y'all if it was. Because my next video is going to be about Light Lark. Everything I've seen from that. Okay, anyway. So then he calls him Aragon Shadeslayer. Actually, that's not too much of a bad last name, but it could have been anything else. And then we have Saphira, and she said, and it says, Saphira knows one of the Urgles and said, this should not have happened. It is an evil doing, and all the worse for coming when we should be safe and victorious. Now, I understand that she's a dragon, and this may just be how she talks, but I think we understand that it is an evil doing. And I think we understand that this should not have happened because someone should have been scouting and paying attention to what was happening around them. And then it says, all the worse for coming when we should be safe and victorious. Yeah, it is all the worse for coming. Because clearly you're not safe and victorious. Like, this is wild. We need to do something about Trojan him. Because, like, what's happening? And then, she pretty much says, where are the twins in Murtagh? They are not among the dead. And then Aragon scanned the corpses. You're right. Elation surged within him as he hurried to the tunnels. Elation? Elation. As you watched multiple people die. 4 warriors, and I don't even know, probably 10 Urgles. And then you just watched Ajahad die. And elation is soaring through your body when you literally say later that you wish Murtagh was gone. And then it says right here, right before that, Murtagh, son of one of the Forsworn, the 13 riders who had helped Galbatorix destroy their order and anoint himself king of Allegasia, and Aragon's friend. And then right after that, at times Aragon had wished Murtagh gone. And then right here, you're talking about elation surging through your body. I would not be elated to know that the twins in Murtagh aren't even there. Like, I would be concerned. Like, why are they not here? You know, like, were they killed beforehand? Like, what is up with this story? And then we go into extreme detail right here that I hate. Their comma, because he forgot a comma right there. There, pools of thickening blood filled the hollows of the worn marble steps like a series of black mirrors, glossy and oval, as if several torn bodies had been dragged down them. You could have just said worn marble steps, glossy and oval, the end. Or you didn't have to add that last part in general, okay? You could have just stopped at steps. And then it says, the Urgles must have taken them, but why? They don't keep prisoners or hostages. Despair instantly returned. Despair should have always stayed there. If you knew they didn't take prisoners or hostages, then you would immediately think in your head, they're dead. Like, they were killed by them. Because they're not even here. And then there's none of their, like, you don't see any of their bodies. So, they're probably dead. That's the first thing that will come to my mind, right? And then all of a sudden, we just immediately send Araya to what? Kill other creatures? Like, we don't even let Araya think for herself. She's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go do it for you. We'll honor for you. This book is so fast-paced. For what? For what? And then, now here's a thing that I like about this book. We have Owick speaking, and he says, I see, and where'd be Ira? He has a different way of speaking. So, unlike Lightlark, the characters have different voices. They actually have personality, and that's one thing I love. Like, Aragon doesn't cry when Ajihad is dead, but others cry later in the book, which is just great. It just shows that characters have a life, they have feelings, they have emotions, they're alive. And then, oh my gosh, I hate this scene. This is gonna make me mad. We see Jomunder, the name that I don't like, arrive, and then he bent and touched Ajhad on the shoulder. And then this is him talking. How can fate be this cruel, my old friend? I would have been here sooner if not for the size of this cursed mountain. And then you might have been saved instead. Instead we are wounded at the height of your triumph. Are you kidding me? He doesn't even sound sad. And it's just so detailed. Like, what human is going on this long? Unless they're joking and they're being funny. But realistically, anyone would just say, I'm sad that you're dead. Or just something like that. Like, if you're gonna sound that bland and that empty, then just say that. Because there's no way a character would say something like that. That just sounds like AI. Like, no one realistically, if they see their friend dead, first thing they're gonna do is cry, right? They're not just gonna say, how can fate be this cruel, my old friend? As they touch the shoulder. What? I hate this book. I hate this book. AI all the way through. And then this is the last page in the chapter. Thank God. Aragon nodded, accepting the inevitable. If he nodded, that means he's already accepting it. That means he already understands. So why do we need to add that line? But I did like what Jormungandr said right here. Ajihad has died a warrior's death. Look, he slew 5 Urgles, where a lesser man might have been overwhelmed by 1. We will give him every honor and hope his spirit pleases the gods. Bear him and our companions back to Trojanham on your shields, and do not be ashamed to let your tears be seen, for this is a day of sorrow that all will remember. May we soon have the privilege of sheathing our blades at the monsters who have slain our leader. Like I said, it's always about killing. It's just a nihilistic book about killing. Like, literally, Garrow dies, and then Aragon is like, I will kill everyone who's evil. Like, are you kidding me? And now we have characters wanting to kill even more. Like, I understand wanting to kill the creatures that killed your leader, but it's just so much death already. Like, it's just so much killing already. I don't want any more of that, okay? Let's just do the funeral first, okay? And then once all the characters are actually not sad anymore and they actually feel like destroying those creatures, then we can say that. But no, there is no breaks. There are no pauses. Just immediately someone dies. Immediately someone dies. Immediately someone's sent out just to go do, only God knows. Immediately someone is in pain. Immediately there's crying, there's tears, something is happening. There's no pause, just action, 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 plot, 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 plot. Can we please take breaks maybe? Please? Like, literally. I mean, where's the realism in this book? It's just so much going on, and in my next video I'm gonna talk about Light Lark, and I don't even know much about Light Lark. All I know is that anyway, bye guys, I am done with this book. I will see you in my next video called Light Lark. Bye. Actually, let me try that again. Bye.